3 seconds. Hello, and welcome to San Francisco by Night, Hunter the Vigil. When last we left off, our players were, well, they thought they were good. Some learned that there were ways to be safe, and others learned that you're never safe. Our first story tonight takes us to Mr. Ellison, who has business with a new segment of his company that just opened up not too far outside of San Francisco. The first scene I will take away to Mr. Ellison.
Um, where are we going to start exactly?
Probably in the meeting office watching the construction on a live video screen of the mine being redone and your friend coming in.
Right, so I could say that, like, Joe is coming for lunch or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ellison, good to see you again.
Good to see you again, too. We're barely having any time to talk lately.
Well, that is the curse of business.
Indeed.
What is it you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, firstly, how are you and your sister? Did she give up on those ideas of her?
It would seem so.
Oh, really? What changed her mind?
An incident happened at home that she had to go take care of.
An incident? Is she
Yes,
alright?
she is fine.
I see. I'm going to use Aura Reading on Kel because I'm worried about her.
Okay.
Okay. Uh,
What'd you get?
Zero successes.
Hey, you try to focus in and concentrate, and you haven't quite learned how to do the aura reading.
Um, is there nothing I can do like spend a willpower to try to
You could
roll
spend a
three more
willpower and
times?
roll 3 dice. Yeah.
Problem is that it already spends a willpower to use that, so I'm going to spend it one more. That's going to be fun. Hmm. Shoot.
2 hits? Okay. Her aura turns into a bright, vibrant, and it's showing off what you think is concern, but not it's not glowing very bright and vibrant on that particular color. Some of the other colors you're not familiar with.
Is it similar to anything I've seen before?
It's a bright, vibrant aura.
Well, is it? Does it? Let me take a look at the questions. But I think, firstly, is this character not human?
You're not sure.
Right.
Like I said, when you guys ask that question, you don't know much about the things you get, so it's hard to tell.
But is it similar to any of the not humans I've seen?
No.
Right. And what is the most prominent emotion on this character when she's talking about her
Um,
sister?
content.
Hmm. Well, good to hear that everything is settled then. Well, except for the incident.
Yes. She'll probably be back and start trying her schemes within a few months, but at least this will keep her preoccupied.
Right. I hope it wasn't you who did this incident.
No, it wasn't. I was admittedly thinking about doing something like that, but no.
Hmm. So, how's the situation going on with the new facility?
The new facility is going good. A lot of the workers don't want to be there due to some of the rumors they've heard about the nearby ghost town, but they were compensated and the mine is starting its progress.
Did you hire security like I told you?
Yes, I did.
Is MODOK involved?
Well, yeah, they're the best security corporation around.
But I told you that I didn't want them.
She looks over at the thing and hands you a list. And she says, I've hired security, and you get to choose which ones you want to stay and which ones you don't. We have security from at least 3 different companies around on the West Coast. So you'll read the names and you'll choose the ones that get to go and stay.
Right. I'll make appropriate researches soon. This think of this security company having access to everything we do basically it doesn't sound too well to me. Maybe we should start to work on our own security.
We could, if you wish to open up a branch of that. If you wish to actually do that in character, that will cost 4 resource dots, but it will give you some benefits. Quite a bit of benefits, actually.
Yeah, I'll probably do that.
Do you want to make that call?
I think I have 4 resource dots because I spent one on the suit, so yeah, I will.
Okay. So you spend all your resource dots. So you will have no resource dots to spend for the up until the next month. And Mr. Ellison has spent quite a fortune this month on both his suit and opening up his new company. But you're opening up your new company to security, which will not only grant you some extra things when buying certain kinds of resources or certain kinds of items, but it will also open up other avenues. So, if you wish to do that, can you add some things onto your sheet for me, please?
Okay, what do I add?
Contact security.
How many
Arson,
dots?
contact security 2.
Okay.
Arsenal 2. And what Arsenal will let you do is when you're buying weapons or bullets or something, you can use those Arsenal dots in place of your resource dots.
Right.
And then take Allies 1 security.
Okay.
As you're talking with it through Crow and you're kind of looking through the company and whatnot, um, she kind of, you have a, it takes about, 4 hours before you guys finally get done settling everything and what you're going to branch into. And at first, it's just going to be a minor system of security, but how you choose to branch into it is your option. Um, so you eventually go back to the construction of the facility, and it looks like it's coming along very nicely. This quarry looks like it was pretty big before it was abandoned the first time, and it does look like it's going to provide a lot of resources in the future.
Mhm.
One thing you notice is Quao looks very. As she's watching the construction of the facility, it looks like she's just staring off into space.
Um, Cal, is everything all right?
Um, yes, just a minor headache. That's all.
You seem you seem kind of lost. Are you sure it's just a headache?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Since we were talking about security earlier, do you know what land security is doing lately? How are they?
It seems they've hit a bit of a stalemate. They haven't really done much in terms of declarations. They are basically kind of just, well, standing there and not really doing anything. They haven't made any new investments or any new buy-ins, nothing.
Hmm. How interesting. S- Do you need some aspirins?
Oh no, I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay, let's just take a small break so that you can just take some water then.
Yes, yes, sure, sure.
I'll still tell Cassius to bring some aspirins for her anyways.
hmm Caden, it's at this point you hear a little something in your head. She's lying.
Is this voice something I recognize?
Yeah, it's the sword.
Ah, um, do you want to go for a small walk?
Sure. Yeah, let's. I need to go check on the garden anyway.
Yes, you know, a small, just some fresh air can do well for the head.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what have you been doing lately of different?
Mostly been taking care of the numbers, but I've also been talking to family that I haven't talked with in a long time, a very long time.
I see. And how are they doing? Well, you know, other than your sister and this incident, whatever it is.
They're angry that I don't want to come back and take over father's company, but I prefer working for this one.
Well, why not put both of them together?
I did suggest that, but father would never hear of it.
Hmm, that's a shame.
It is, but he is set in his ways.
What business is your family involved in?
Transportation.
Well, transportation and technology are things that can work well together. It's a real shame.
Mm, it's a peeve of his, I suppose.
Well, perhaps you should let me meet him. I could convince him otherwise.
Caden, as she walks into the garden, she brushes by you. Um, you feel a stab of pain go into your head.
Uh,
Everything all right, sir?
for some reason, I also have a headache now.
Oh,
Probably nothing bad.
roll me a resolve composure.
chew.
Okay, you manage to eventually kind of shake your head and the pain goes away a little bit.
That's weird. Hmm. But nothing unexpected. Nothing too that weird. It just felt like a pinch on my head. It's already gone.
That little voice comes back. Petty.
And what did it say?
Petty.
Ah. So about the mines. What's going on up you there?
Well, we had a little bit of a flaw in construction, so we had to start on the whole other west side, but it should be all right. The men are complaining that they're seeing things in the woods.
Well, that's why we hired soldiers to protect them.
Indeed. And nothing has gone wrong so far, but people are starting to get spooked.
By the way, remember that person I hired before, the robotics expert?
Oh,
He's not
yes.
coming to work with us anymore.
Roll me a wit's composure.
0 successes.
Okay. Don't notice anything. She says, well, I suppose that's for the best then.
It is. He was acting like a child, and I don't think hiring children work in the company is the best for us.
No, not at this point.
Especially not when we are starting something so big.
Agreed. Not to mention, do you know anything about that explosion that happened downtown just outside? It was at the old school, the abandoned one.
Uh, Out of character, did I hear of that?
No, but that was where you went down into the bunker.
Right. I don't think I did. Was it another terrorist attack?
I don't know. The news channels haven't said anything yet.
It's kind of worrying. I mean, attacking an abandoned school wouldn't do that much, though, so I don't see the point of them
Indeed,
doing
it's
that.
it's it's odd. It's very odd why that would happen.
Do you have any guesses?
I don't know. Unscheduled demolition. Someone just playing around with some toys they got. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Hard to say. Things are getting a bit weird in this town lately.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, a lot of disappearances up by that new tourist attraction area. And for the first time, we've seen timber wolves in almost 100 years.
Oh, really?
Yes, timber wolves were extinct in California for quite some time, and we're starting to see signs of them come back.
That is concerning.
What? You afraid of wolves?
No, not of wolves.
Then why are you concerned, sir?
Well, lots of species have been going extinct lately, while this may be a sign that this one will also end up being one of these.
You think that we're seeing them again will put them extinct again?
Probably.
I see. Well,
Well, you know, just a possibility.
Well then, how have you been, sir? Have you been doing your little dangerous hobby?
Well, lately it has been getting even more dangerous.
I see.
But there are good news too.
Oh,
I've met someone.
oh, she turns and smiles and she's like, "Good for you, Caden."
Yes, yes, I didn't think that would ever happen.
I have to admit, it was starting to worry me that you would ever find someone. You were always so enveloped in your dedication.
Well, sometimes this thing, well, it's not sometimes, but this wonder that I have about what happened can get the better of me sometimes. Which
Indeed.
is why I'm glad to have you here.
So I've heard. And I have to admit, I've been admiring your resistance to go kill Mr. Jacobs. I thought you would immediately charge into that police station and start to murder the man, but you've shown incredible resistance. I'm impressed.
Well, there are many more things involved apparently. If I just did that, I would miss most of the other things.
I see. Good. It's important to step back and look at all the options before you take a choice.
There are many things going on. Apparently, now I'm remembering more of what happened at that night.
Really?
I didn't remember before, but after what happened, there was this woman dressed in red, and for some reason I couldn't remember her before, but now I do, and I have no idea of who she is.
Woman in red. What was she doing?
Apparently, she was the one who hired Jacobs. I don't really know what she was doing. She said that he was not as professional as she expected, and she didn't seem to be too happy about what happened, but I don't know what she wanted to happen.
Interesting.
And confusing.
Hmm. Odd. Very odd. Her cell phone rings and she answers it. Yes? Mm-hmm. Slow down. Slow down. Really? I'll be out there momentarily. Well, we've had one of the security disappear.
In the mines?
Yes.
Well, that's strange.
Yes, and I need to go take care of this. Hopefully he didn't fall down a ditch or something while walking the perimeter.
Why don't you let me go with you?
Sure.
I'm going to place a hand on her shoulder to see what happens if I touch her. Because the last time she brushed on me, something happened.
Nothing happens this time.
Kel, tell me, please, is everything alright with you? I I don't like lying to you. I think you are one of the few people I can trust, and if you're lying to me, I'm going to lose my trust in you, but I don't want that to happen.
Let me try something here. Roll me a wits empathy.
Zero.
Okay. She turns to you and she says, "No, everything's fine."
If anything happens, you have to tell me.
Of course, I will.
Good.
You go on out to the mine area and you deal with that on its own terms. It seems one of the security guards. It's an odd report. One of the security guards just went off into the woods and started wandering around and got lost.
Got lost.
Yeah,
Is this. Is there no signal, phone signal there?
there's phone signal. It's kind of staticky when you get into certain places, which is crazy since this is the year 2077. But most of the places, it's got some signal. Yeah,
Have you tried contacting him?
dials, rings, rings, nothing.
Strange.
Eventually, as you're waiting at the mine, looking around, trying to get ready to get like a search party going, he comes stumbling back out of the woods.
I'm going to walk to him.
He looks very glazed and like he's like someone just shot him with a bunch of weed or something.
Where did you get lost?
Uh, I I don't know. I think I don't remember.
Where is your communicator?
No, it's in my pocket. I didn't hear anything.
Check it, please.
He checks it, and sure enough, there are your messages. Yeah,
Why couldn't you get it?
I I didn't hear it.
What were you hearing then?
Nothing.
Nothing. So you just blacked out.
I I think so.
What do you remember?
Uh, I went and I heard a sound, and it sounded like someone was messing with one of the fences. So I walked out to go check it out, and that's all I remember.
Do you remember where that was?
I think it was on the north side.
Alright, we should go check. And you're coming with us.
Okay. You go check the area where he was investigating, and it just seems to be a normal fence area.
There is nothing like tampering with the fence or anything like
Nope,
that.
not one.
What did you hear exactly?
Cutting sound, and then I heard a kind of a like metal getting crunched or something.
The fence is completely fine.
Yeah, I'm a little confused myself.
I hope you're not lying to us. I hope you didn't go take a break just to use drugs.
No, I didn't, sir. Honest, you can test me right now.
Alright, I'm going to ask someone to check him
Okay.
if he has any drugs on him or anything like that.
You check him. He has no drugs on him. He is not high or anything like that.
That is weird.
And yet, when they come back and tell you the results, he does seem to be high, but he has no things in his system.
Right. Okay, I think you can take a week off. You know, paid. You should probably rest. But
No.
I'll probably pay you a visit and ask you some questions later.
Oh, sure thing, sir.
Are there any other reports like this? Did anyone else go missing?
No.
So you're the first one.
Yeah, he was the first one. It's at this point that you can hear a very faint howl echo over the mountainside. It sounds like a wolf.
I Cal, can we talk in private for a moment?
Of course. What is it?
Um, I know this may sound crazy for you, but I think these Timberwolves coming back are a sign of werewolves. And this
She
howling might be one of these.
she looks at you and laughs and says, "You're serious."
Did you ever see me joking?
Werewolves don't exist.
I wouldn't be so sure of that if I were you.
Allison, I think you are just letting your imagination run just a little too wild there.
Okay, so if they come here and start attacking everyone and we lose the money we invested here, it's going to be on you and your skeptical ways.
Would you like me to up security then?
Probably.
Okay, I'll see it done. It'll be a good training point for our company to get into security.
I'm not sure if this is true, but in most fantasy stuff, silver works on them, so try to give at least a bit of silver to each guard.
Silver is a rare commodity nowadays, sir.
Well, we need to get some, either way.
Well, I'll see what I can do, for I certainly won't be able to get much.
No, but some is probably enough. I hope.
Spending quite the fortune this month, sir.
Things are going weird lately. Okay? I'm finding out way too many stuff that I didn't expect to ever find.
I see. Well then, as she looks off into the rain and opens her umbrella, then let's get on with business then. And for the briefest second before she goes out into the night, you think you see something off to this distance of the tree line, but you look back and there's nothing there. We will now go to another scene. Miss Valentine,
Yes.
you are working at one of your standard scope out hangout areas, or just trying to um, your standard patrol areas, and you see out in front of this kind of like nice sushi place, there is a it's a very strange looking woman that catches your eye just in how she's dressed. And she goes up to the sushi place and she starts talking and chit chatting with people. And then she sits down next to this guy and roll me a wits plus composure, please.
Do 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 do. What's composure? Okay, hold up. Yep. Sheet roll. Doop. I'm assuming no plus minus nothing. Yep. Okay.
Nope.
Ooh, I actually got one.
You notice that she's kind of starting to flirt with the guy,
All right. That's
and you get this kind of sense just to turn on the EMS vision. And when you do, you can see a very strange disorientation, like static or some kind of odd little glitch in the camera, if you will, going towards him from her.
so. She's talking to him, and some weird flow is going from him to her,
Her to him.
her to him.
Yeah, and then back and forth. It's almost like a loop de loop.
Okay, and is it anything like when I was talking to Creed that other day, and he had just the energy coming out of nowhere? Is it anything like that?
Similar. It looks different.
Okay, but either way, something weird's going on here, but also uh fuck. How do I approach this? Time for shenanigans. Shenanigans. Uh, well, fortunately, I am a cop, so bothering people when they're minding their own business is what we do. So, uh, all right. I'm gonna process this fake story. Um, gonna get out like a tablet, and I'm gonna approach, and I'm gonna flag her down. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, what's up?
I've just we're conducting a investigation. We're looking for a specific culprit who's about 4'9", brown hair, green eyes, some mild augments. Have you seen anybody by that description?
No, officer, I can't say I have.
All right, all right. Has the thing stopped?
A little bit, yeah.
Right. You sir, have you seen anything of such a anyone of such a description?
No, I haven't. Sorry, officer.
All right. Or have you at least seen um a 2078 Toyota Corolla flying around anywhere? Blue.
I've seen dozens of them.
All right. Might I get a name for the records?
Who are you asking?
I kind of gesture to both of them.
Man says his name is David. The woman kind of looks at you. And she says, "Oh, so I really have to give you my name."
It's just semantics. semantics.
She lets out a long sigh. Just can I just give my nickname? I really need to give my full.
We need actual names for the record.
Jinsilla.
Chinsilla.
Jinsilla.
Jinsilla. Hmm.
Just call me Jinx, please.
All right. Um. Oh God! Wow! What it all? Out of character. What a really Jinx.
It's not actually that. I just named her that.
Huh?
If
That's
it
not on the nose.
if it was actually Jinx, do you think she, for God in hell, do you think she would actually sit there and talk to you like that? No, the first thing she would do is probably shoot you.
But Jinx, which is obvious. Okay. Not a fucking whatchamacallit at all.
She
All
kind of
right.
turns. She turns to you and she starts looking you up and down, and she says, "Wow, full on cybernetics."
Yeah.
Hey
It's
Dave, why don't you go head on home? I think I found someone new to talk to. Dave immediately pays the bill and starts walking off and says, "All right, I'll see you tomorrow."
I'm assuming the connection broke.
Yes.
All right, that was my main objective here. But also, fuck.
She kind of walks up to you and she like looks at your badge and then looks kind of up and down at you and she says, "Dang, that is impressive stuff."
Yeah, it pays to be with the system.
She's like,
Accidents happens.
"Uh-huh. What kind of accents?"
Oh, I don't need to go into that, but
Well, it does certainly perk my interest.
uh-huh. Um do I see this connection start to do anything weird?
Yeah, it goes towards you, and it seems to be going towards you, and things seem to be happening, but you don't feel any discomfort or pain or anything.
Ha, well. Um
What is your composure?
it's I think it's 3. Does Iron Will have anything for that?
Yes.
Because that would be 2 more dots then.
Okay, so what's it total?
So my composure plus my Iron Will would be 5.
Okay. Rough. One, two, three, four.
Ha!
Well, that's still 4 hits.
It is, but it's not 5.
So, you feel like, how do I describe it? Like when you get into a conversation with someone and like you just kind of start getting a little bit tired, but it's not like exhaustion, it's just kind of a relaxation. And you feel yourself kind of almost like you're slipping into a warm bath.
Hmm. Does the connection change, like, the pattern or anything?
No, it just stays at a steady flow.
Ah. Well, I'm going to take context clues, assuming that she's doing something off. And. Hmm. Might I ask, your relationship between you and that gentleman, or
Oh, we used to date, but we're still friends.
all right, all right. I start just writing random shit down on
You
the
notice
tablet.
at this point, she has a cricket bat that's leaning against the counter where she was sitting.
I mean, it is an open carry, but also is she holding it?
No, it's leaning against the little chair where she was sitting. She hasn't moved that far from the walk-in sushi restaurant there. It's like if you've ever seen the movie Blade Runner, it's like a sushi restaurant, but you just walk up and order. So it's like an open. It's got like a little thing in the front to protect from the rain, but it's an open
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
thing. It's like a diner you just go to sit at, but it's out in the open. You know.
All right. Shit, I'm really playing with fire here. All right. So, you're a resident or just visiting?
Oh, I'm a resident of San Francisco. Yes, I go and
Hmm.
hang out at a lot of the clubs. I'd love to take you sometime. And she starts to kind of. She doesn't unbutton your shirt or anything, but she like walks up and kind of like just gives you a little tap on the chest.
Um, I kind of push her. Whoa there. That's a.
Oh,
uh, mm,
what about when you're off duty?
I go home with my fiance.
Ooh, all the better.
Okay,
Two's
then.
fun. Two's fun. Three's a party.
Um, shit.
Make me a resolve composure roll.
Yeah.
Iron Will applies.
So, okay, that's a lot of dice. Thank God.
Watch it get 0 hits.
Oh, that would be fucking great. I kind of want it to happen just because failing is as fun as succeeding. But no.
Oh, nice. Go ahead and make me a stamina composure as well. And no, Iron Will does not apply to this one.
Of course. Stamina composure?
Stamina composure.
I don't think I have anything for that. Does resilience? No. No. Okay, yeah, it's just the basic dice.
Very nice. So those are both very good rolls. So yeah, you feel yourself almost slip into a little bit of euphoria, and you just shake it off.
Hmm. Yeah, that's that's not really appropriate behavior to.
She kind of backs up and tilts her head and looks at you a little funny.
I'm gonna ask we keep this professional, ma'am.
Well, I understand. You're on duty. We can be a little less professional when you're off duty.
Uh,
Dang. She kind of looks at you now like she can't believe what just happened. Like you just did something that was like fascinating, and she's like looking you up and down like what the hell.
is are you all right, ma'am?
Oh, I'm fine. You're just getting more impressive by the minute. Sorry, I should be professional. Name's Jinx.
Uh-huh.
I help run security at one of the local punk clubs here. Hence the cricket bat.
All right. I mean, girl's gotta protect herself. I'm more of a. Well, I've never really needed much,
I'll say.
ma'am.
Hmm. She kind of shakes her head a bit and kind of shrugs her shoulders, and she says, Well, you appear to be very strong willed. Nonetheless, I would much like to talk with you again when it's a bit more off duty.
Speaking on those terms, you seem to have a a little bit of influence of yourself now, don't you?
A little bit of influence, officer.
Yeah. You wouldn't happen to be shit, how to describe this? You seem a little too charismatic.
She
Yes.
she raises an eyebrow and she says, "Well, I try to be."
Hmm. I think gonna kind of give an eyebrow. I think we might stay in touch.
Oh, would you like my card?
Sure.
She hands you a little, very neon colored, bright, vibrant, very screaming punk goth club card at you, and it does have her number on it. She's like, "Well, this is the first time I have to admit I've given my number out to one of San Francisco's finest, but I like this."
Mm-hmm. I'll. We'll keep in touch.
Of course, officer.
Gonna kind of look her up and down, kind of suspiciously, and I'm gonna. Oh, and do keep an eye out for that Corolla. Gonna put
Of
away my
course.
tablet and start and walk off into the rain.
Don't be a stranger. And Miss Valentine, just mark on your sheet you lost one willpower.
Fuck! How did I mark that, anyways?
Oh, just mark it that it's like almost like it's spent. But
Oh,
then
okay. I see the little dots.
you'll probably get it back by next session. So
All right.
as you go back to the car, your one of your coworkers who was sitting there on stakeout watching you, getting information about the car.
Hmm. No, no one's seen anything yet.
Or were
Anything
you t-
picked up on the cameras?
No, nothing picked up on the camera. It's just a little bit of interference. Were you getting jiggy, Valentine?
Definitely not. I
Oh, come
no.
on. Oh, should I tell Nick that you're going like full buy?
Definitely not. She
Oh,
honestly, she was just giving me weird vibes, and I was making sure that nothing weird was happening over there.
I see. Well, I gotta admit, you kept your composure more than I would. Although, in all honesty, I have a dick, you don't, so it's a little bit harder for me, but no pun intended.
You're just jealous. I'm harder than you'll ever be.
Yeah, that is a good point, though. Ugh. Nonetheless, Valentine, good job. Um, I did get a license plate on the other car we were looking at earlier.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he's on 32 South Street. Want to go check it out and see what's going on?
Oh yeah. Let's get in there.
My guess is three bucks or three coffees. Basically says this guy's a drug addict.
I mean, yes. Shit, I wouldn't even put coffee on it. It's almost a guarantee.
Well, how about this? I'll owe you three coffees if it turns into a shootout. You owe me three if it's peaceful.
Shit, I'm hoping not to get shot at today.
See, that's the whole point. That's why I made the bet that way.
Well, all right, let's hit it.
All right, let's hit it. You guys go on down and start speeding away to the location. You park in one of the lower Manhattan areas of San Francisco, one of the lower slum areas. And when you get to the house, it screams crack house. Your partner, who you know is Harris, walks up at the door, knocks. Mr. Bow, sir, we have a warrant out for you. Please open up. Hello? Knocks on the door again.
I'm gonna use thermal.
Yeah, there are two somewhat cold signatures coming from the room. One of them appears to be male. One of them appears to be another male, slightly taller, and they're cold, but not. They're not like anything out of the ordinary. It's just cold.
Like, not like healthy cold. Or just
Like
stand.
someone left the AC on too long.
Mm-hmm. Do they? Where are they standing in retrospect to the door?
They're standing off to the right, and they appear to be facing each other, talking.
Hmm.
One of them then makes an action, and you see him kind of reach up, and he seems to put something into his eye, and then he kind of slumps in the chair, and then the other guy walks off toward the kitchen. What looks like a kitchen, due to the fact you can see a cold signature and a heat signature that seems to be coming from a stove
I'm gonna
top.
I'm gonna pull out my my shoddy. Like they're doing funny.
Jesus, Valentine, where in the hell did you get that thing? Fucking hey, that's huge. What the hell?
It was a wedding gift, but also these two are. Yeah, there's two in there and they're doing something shoddy. We have to go in.
Right, he pulls out his service pistol.
All right.
Right. Police, we're coming in. Hands up. And he kicks the door, and he surprisingly kicks it in one kick. And you both enter through a very tactical means. And you go off. This place is a dump. There's just kind of a living room with a brown carpet, brown, fur chairs, and there's obvious drugs and whatnot over on the table, and there's booze, and it's just typical screaming crack house.
You in the kitchen,
And,
come out with your hands up.
huh? You see a guy come out of the kitchen. He's like, oh, shit. He's holding a frying pan with like some sort of thing cooking in it.
On the ground.
Uh, uh, he goes to like set the frying pan down, and he sets it down over on like the stove. Gets down on his knees. I didn't do nothing, officer. This is all legal stuff.
Cuff him, Jenkins. Who am I with?
Jenkins.
Oh, cuff him, Jenkins.
Right. Starts cuffing him, starts going through the motions. And unfortunately, a lot of the stuff you see on the table, he is right. It's all legal prescriptions. Granted, you catch
They-
something.
They still
roll
are
me-
being sketchy. So
Right, roll me wits composure.
with composure, it clicked right. All right. Fuck.
Let me see if Jenkins sees it.
Fuck.
You notice the guy in the chair, he's just wasted out of his mind.
I'm gonna keep an eye on him. Since Jenkins has the other guy cuffed.
Yeah, he's not too easy to he's not too hard to subdue.
Yeah.
You pick up a vial that you saw him kind of messing with earlier, but you can't identify what was in it.
Son, what is this?
Which guy are you asking?
The one who's not baked.
That's just some new prescription stuff. Look, it's all legal, man.
Mm-hmm. Does the vial look anything like I've seen before?
Roll me a wits intelligence.
Ooh. Oh, wait. Fuck. If I just do a -1, I don't have to cancel. Nah, forget it. Cancel. I'm not gonna math this. Wits intelligence. Okay. Ooh.
You remember you've seen a vial like this when you were talking to Banks and a few of the others. This looks like a red eye shooter, and red eye is a highly illegal drug.
Really? Legal.
Yeah, at least that's what
Red
the
eye is legal.
at least that's what the pharmacist told me.
Can I see if he's lying?
Roll me a wits empathy.
I'm actually being a cop. Look at me go. Oh, what the hell?
Well, you also had 9 agains when you shouldn't have done that. But
Really? No.
yeah, see 9 again. But you did get 1, 2.
Shit. Real. Oh, now I feel cheated.
No, that's okay. But you did get successes.
Okay.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4. Because technically that 10 would have re-rolled, and you would have gotten the 9, and it just would have been that success,
Okay.
not a re-roll. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's still pretty good.
That's still. Yeah, that's my maximum possible. Okay.
All right. So that was a really good roll. Um, yeah, he's telling the truth. Apparently, according to him, he went down to the pharmacy that's just down the road, and the pharmacist told him it was legit stuff.
All right. I'm not aiming the gun at him anymore, but I'm still holding it. But tell me what you two were discussing before, because I know you were right next to the door when we were knocking.
What? How'd you know?
Terminator eyes. Now talk.
Oh, wow, you're decked out head to toe. Anyway, we were just talking about doing the stuff, and then of course he just did it there, and apparently that's some good shit because he's out of his mind.
Either way, we're gonna have to. Do I, out of character, do I have the rights to book them? We did have a warrant for them, didn't we?
With yeah, because he was wanted for breaking and entering. So
Yeah. So we have a warrant for these two.
yep.
All right. So we do have an outstanding warrant. So you are going to be coming with us.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a Monday for you. All right, let's go.
fucking pigs. Ugh.
I'm also going to make sure to turn off his stovetop in case he left it on.
Yep, that was a good idea because he did leave it on.
You didn't leave anything else on that would burn your house down, did you?
No,
All right.
I want my lawyer.
And you'll get him. Let's go. Just kind of the one that's stoned. I'm just gonna like princess carry his ass.
You also notice that just before you leave, there's one more piece of evidence you kind of notice.
What do I notice?
There appears to be a piece of paper. It appears to be an application form, and then next to it is an acceptance letter, like hey, you got the job, and it is to Modoc Industries.
I'm gonna wait till we're in the car to talk to him about it.
Jenkins eventually puts the guys in the back in the holding cell and take the flying car back to the station. He's like, well, so does that classify as violent or non-violent?
Non-violent. I didn't have to punch any of them.
Right, so that'll be 3 coffees, Valentine.
2 because you already owed me the 1.
Still, I like my coffee black with 3 sugars.
Like your women.
He thinks about that for a moment. He's like, sometimes. I'm still trying to decide what the sugar part of that metaphor was. I mean, sugar, spice, and everything nice, right?
Oh yeah.
Except with
Well,
you, it's sugar, spice, and then someone accidentally spilled the spice out and then decided to put some cayenne pepper into there and then just kept going.
yeah.
Damn it, Valentine. I know this is a little bit unprofessional, but if you weren't marrying Nick, I would pound the shit out of that.
Just glances over, bro.
He shrugs. He's like, sorry, I haven't exactly been having a good relationship scene lately. Sorry.
Do I need a wingman for you again? Because Jesus.
I don't know. Sorry, it just seemed to be radiating something, you know?
Kind of looks for like.
I don't know. Ever since you talked to that one girl, it's like you've been like, I don't know. You just been looking sexier. I don't know. He kind of smacks himself. Snap out of it, Jenkins. We're still on duty.
Uh huh. Well. Oh shit.
As that realization hits you, we'll let that scene fade as you both proceed back to the police station.
I should probably go home after this.
Let's go back to Mr. Morgan's place. Mr. Morgan, tell us about where you live.
He's. Sorry, I just need to stop with the running commentary for a second there. He's living in what probably looks like a dump with a very like the kind of shit you'd think is a meth den from the outside. But on the inside, it's nice, it's clean, it's very much on purpose. It looks like that.
And you are currently looking at one of your line charts or conspiracy theory charts that has like a dozen red cords going from here to there, and a whiteboard that like has a bunch of different information written on it.
Of course.
And you think for a bit, and you've been looking at the photos that you have of Miss Cassandra and Mr. Ellison.
Yes, those juicy photos.
Well, eventually you're kind of waiting here, and you get a phone call.
I'm picking it up.
Is this Mr. Morgan?
This is indeed Morgan.
Morgan, I don't know what anyone else has told you, but this is Jameson over at the Daily 7. Look, I don't care what any of the other competitors are telling you. I will pay you double for those pictures.
That's a lot of money. You sure you're good for that?
Oh, I'm good for that. Trust me. Here at the Daily 7, we are the best.
You do usually pay fine. That's true.
Oh, yeah. We will pay you double, and I will get you a professional job here. You will be able to go, and I'm talking gossip. I'm talking juicy. I'm talking anything you want.
Oh, you do know how to sweet talk me.
Yeah. So what do you say? We get some digital copies and physical copies of the photos. We're good.
You know what? Fuck it. Deal.
All right, you got it.
You want exclusivity, or do you want 24 hours to get it out before I send it on?
Let's go ahead and get 24 hours just to be safe.
All right.
And God damn it, Morgan, I want pictures of Spider-Man on my desk in the morning. No.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
He definitely sounds like he's got a cigar in his mouth, and he says, "Excellent. All right, Morgan, you just made a good business choice. Welcome officially, Channel 7.
Thank you.
No worries. We'll get you out of that little place there. We'll get you set up in something in Hightown, and we'll put you as one of our main flashers."
Well, let's put me as the main flasher and leave my place alone. How about that?
All right. Hey, if you want to stay there, that's fine. You're in kind of a shady part of town, but it's your call. Your call.
Well, nobody's gonna come looking for me in the shady part of town.
I suppose that's an advantage. Anyway, first assignment I want you to do is, you know that new guy, the guy who owns Lance Corporations?
Out of character, do I know that guy?
Yes, he's another security firm.
All right, I do.
Well, I just got a big gig for the guy. I want you to start investigating Lance. I want you to get dirt. I want you to get whatever you can on this guy. This guy's starting to lose it from the sounds of it, and I want to see, all the dirt we got on this guy. I want to see his company go down. We are getting paid good money for this. This is a big gig. So, I want the best. And you, Mr. Morgan, are the best. I want to put you on this.
That's you're starting out big for me. I like it.
Of course. I mean, unless you're not up to the challenge.
Oh, now you're just shitting on my parade, aren't you?
Yeah, from what I understand, this guy Lance, he tried to take over that company that that Ellison guy fella runs, and kind of feels weird that
Yeah.
we're getting dirt on one guy and now we're going for the other guy. But let's get dirt on all the fuck all the big
Well,
corporations.
welcome to the gossip world.
Yeah. Let's bring them all down. Fuck all the corporation guys.
Yeah.
Next we're going for Lance, and from what I hear, he's got some juicy stuff going on him.
It's actually worked out perfectly for me. I do have another job getting to Lance, so
Indeed. So let's fuck this guy up.
oh yeah.
Now, first thing you should notice about Mr. Lance is he doesn't come out during the day. He only comes out during night. He's one of those night owl freaks. He just does not like coming out in the day. So, best time to get him would probably be when he's going to some of his gigs because he runs a lot of parties, top celebrity notch or whatever. But I'm sure you can get in.
Of course,
I've
I
seen
get it
you-
everywhere.
I've seen you do it before. Right.
How do
Well,
you think I
there's-
got the photo of Ellison?
Yeah, there's rumors that he's got a mistress when he's married. Let's start with that and see where we can go from there.
Right, he's just writing shit down in an old-fashioned fucking notebook because it's almost never got out of the Twitter.
I hear he's got a party going tomorrow at one of the suites. It's an open roof. They're probably going to have a cover up for the rain. But like those big fancy pools that are on top of skyscrapers that like hang out over the edge and you can see through them. He's even got one of those going. So it'll be a class act. Perfect place to get some gossip on it.
Nothing else we can get. All the crazy shit's going on in the party.
Yeah,
I
there
think we
also
should
might
bring
be
in something.
Yeah, there's also a couple other celebrities that are going to be hanging out there. So maybe you can even do a little side stuff for them. I hear that new K-pop star, what's her face? What's with the pink hair and everything? Brand new pop star. I hear she's got the crush on him, so this should be interesting.
Pink Bunny's got a crush on Lance.
Pink Bunny, yeah, that's her name. Yeah, I think she's got a crush on Lance.
That's weird. But who am I to judge? I do this.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Good luck, Mike.
Thanks.
Hangs up.
You too. He says after hangs up. I was like, motherfucker. He just throws his phone on his couch. Well, shit. Looks like I got work to do.
Yeah,
And he's gonna start
Right.
calling around. See if
You
we
start
get-
calling around, you start making connections, and by the way, your resource dots go up to a temporary 3.
All right.
Did you already have 1, by the way?
Yeah.
You already had 1, so okay, you're at 4. So that amount of money that he sent you, he was not kidding. He actually sent you quite a bit for those photos.
Hey.
And you start kind of looking around, doing your thing. You make some phone calls, start asking. Sure enough, it looks like Lance is having a big party tomorrow night up on top of one of his high-rise buildings. And he's even being flown in by helicopter to attend the party.
Going full on.
Roll me 3 rolls. roll me intelligence academics, and then wits, and then 2 rolls of wits streetwise.
Intelligence, academics. There. That's gonna be a shit roll. Yep.
Mm.
Wait, why is it -3?
Because you're untrained.
Ah, makes sense. All right, and then was
Wits streetwise.
there we go. 2 successes
Then another one.
and 0 successes.
So it was kind of difficult for you to get a ticket to that party, but you did have to call in some favors. But you were able to procure a ticket to the party, a pass, if you will.
Awesome.
It's at this point you hear a knock on your door.
Very curious. Just gonna walk over and open it.
There is no
Yes.
one there.
Shit. It's gonna close it and fucking lock it. He's got like no typical paranoid has like 50 locks on the inside.
Like, how many locks does he have on his door?
Like at least 7. But it's a lot of, cheap locks probably. That little fucking
Nice.
chain and shit like that.
You hear a knock again.
I'm gonna assume I have like outward facing windows, which are definitely blocked off so people can't see inside, but
Mhm.
he's gonna like try and like look out to see if he can see anyone out there.
Indeed, you see a woman standing there.
Is it anyone I know? Or
No, you've never seen this woman.
alright. I'm gonna unlock the door again. And then open it again. And look.
Okay. You see this woman standing out in the hallway,
Yes.
a similar dress. She says, "Am I at the residence of Mr. Morgan?"
How did you find me?
I know how to find people. That's my job.
Great. What do you want?
I wanted to ask you for a possible job of your work.
Usually people who want to get a job with me pick up the phone and call me.
Yes, well, this was something that needed to be discussed in person.
Well, come in, I guess.
She comes
Oh,
in. She shakes off the umbrella with the rain. And she's wearing a very nice dress and is a very beautiful woman.
Wearing shit like that in this neighborhood is bound to get you robbed.
I wear what I want when I want. I don't care what anyone else thinks.
Sure funeral.
Funeral. Turns and raises an eyebrow towards you.
It's a very bad neighborhood.
Well. Anywho, she sits down and she seems to just wait for you to gain your bearings.
He walks into. I assume he has like an open kitchen into the
Uh-huh.
living room, and he's gonna go and put on some coffee. Not even ask if she wants anything because he's gonna need it.
And she says, I assume that you are very good at what you do due to your reputation preceding you. and I was wondering if you could look into something for me.
What'd that be?
Well, this will sound a little bit off, but do you know of someone named. She thinks for a moment, almost like she's trying to remember who exactly she was trying to place in her mind.
Yes.
Have you heard of a Miss Quinn? She works as a CEO for, I believe, Ellison, what's your company name again?
Ellison Enterprises.
Ellison Enterprises. I believe she works as a CEO for Ellison Enterprises.
That's so.
Yes.
What could he possibly have done to make you want to get dirt on her?
She. mm, Well, let's just say it's a lover's quarrel.
Well, that's always dirty.
Of course. I would like you to see why she is, well, unbeknownst to most people, she has been taking frequent trips in her own private jet back to Japan to see family, constantly, more so than she's ever done in the past few years. Well, as it turns out, she holds out a little USB file towards you.
I'll
That it
take it.
turns out her father is dying, and she has been told to take over the company, but she doesn't want to do it. So her family is apparently very distraught. And it
I imagine
seems
so.
and it seems that every time she goes to visit her father, he just gets a little bit more ill. I wonder what's going on there. I
You
would like
think
you to find out.
there's bad business going on?
Oh, of course, I think there is bad business going on, Mr. Morgan. I always
Oh.
suspect bad business.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, I'm assuming.
Exactly.
So you want me to what? Find out she's poisoning him?
Yes.
I'm assuming you're not planning on me for going to fucking Japan.
I can pay for tickets if you want.
Jesus.
Air travel is a lot faster ever since the year 2060.
Have you No, I'm about to say something that might lose me my job. Have you considered just buying a nurse and asking her to take some blood tests? Or paying off whatever nurse he's got in his home?
I did try that, but she keeps a close staff. I wasn't able to get that. However, I know that money talks for you, and you're good at what you do.
It does indeed.
You are rated on the top of the list. It's at this point, would you roll me a wits composure?
Sure thing. Two.
You notice a very large, not like massively large, but like bigger than it should be, Black Widow spider over on the counter desk next to your couch.
He's definitely got to be behind that ship because that is definitely not supposed to be there. Is that your spider?
Huh? What spider?
On
Oh,
the desk.
oh my. Oh my. Oh, are you afraid of spiders?
Well, I don't particularly like the ones that can kill you.
Oh, well, it doesn't look like it seems to be doing anything.
Yeah, so they say, but they also say you swallow like 5 spiders in your sleep, so.
Yeah, kinda, she says, so, will you do it?
What's the payout?
would you like the payout to be?
If I'm gonna be fucking traveling, high.
Of course, it will be high.
And I do have other jobs currently going, so it might take a while.
So you accept, though?
Sure. Let's say
Okay.
for curiosity's sake.
And I do apologize, Mr. Morgan, but I need to ensure that you're going to do your job. Mr. Morgan, you are being recorded.
Motherfucker.
Hold on a sec. Let me make this roll. One, two, three, four, and 9's again on this. Oh dear, 5, 6, 7.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So, not only can you not take violent action toward this woman, or any violent action of any kind, but you are frozen. Your movement speed becomes 0.
Jesus fuck.
And you feel your body lock up.
Can I still talk?
Yes.
You're recording me in my own home. Really?
Yes, I am. I need to ensure that you're going to do this job properly. So I need to take certain precautions. And she reaches into her bag and she pulls out, she uncaps a very long syringe. I need to ensure that you're going to do your job properly. Now hold still, please.
I don't have a lot of options here.
Well, you can make a resolve composure, but you'll need 7 hits.
I'll try. Fuck it.
I'm sorry, you'll need 5 hits because I was supposed to subtract stuff from your thing.
only got
So
4.
close. You got really close. You struggle and you kind of move a little bit, but you can't quite move.
Twitching a finger. I assume now would be a bad time to say I'm scared of needles.
She's like, "Don't worry, I'll be gentle."
That's
And
what they always say.
She looks up at you and kind of raises an eyebrow in a very sexual overtone. She turns your arm up and injects you with the serum. See, that wasn't so bad, was it?
You can't hear it, but I'm screaming on the inside.
She kind of shrugs and she's like, "That's okay. You won't remember much of this."
Can I just
Now
ask
then.
what the fuck you shot into me? Because I'm assuming that's not pain medication.
Oh, it's not pain medication at all. It is a very experimental drug that me and my company have been working with for quite some time. I've been meaning to actually test it on a few people, and it seems like it should work on you fairly well. It's a cocktail of sorts. It is a true serum mixed with a bit of a mind-wiping drug, so to speak. It's also a minor mind control drug that allows the user, when the drug actually implements, to implement command words, basically making effective sleeper agents. We've used this on before, and it's worked so far. So this is the newest. This is the newest action.
Well, that sounds delightfully horrifying.
And she says it's not harmful at all. It's just
It's not harmful, it's just taking away my free will.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't violent. I mean, you didn't resist. She smiles.
Yeah, because we all know how that functions.
Well, interestingly enough, you're not entirely sure how your power functions exactly, and you've never really had anyone explain it to you. But
He knows it works, so he hasn't thought further
indeed,
than that.
it tends, from what you understand, your power anyway, tends to work with things that you would perceive that it's odd because even though it tends to work with things that you would perceive as violent, violence has different perceptions. Where one person may find this violent, another person wouldn't. So it's difficult to gauge just how the power works, but you typically know that unless you're really hurting someone, it tends to not function. In other words, it tends to be the act of aggression. For
Yeah.
example, if someone wants to cause you harm, it works. So what you can assume is that she's not going to cause you harm or damage per se. As you kind of sit there and go a bit, you feel your muscles start to relax a bit, and it feels kind of like you've got this nice little, like you just got out of a nice warm bath.
Hmm.
And she says, that should be enough time. Let's start with some keywords. I want you to know, Morgan, this is nothing personal. It's just business. I'm trying to keep you safe, after all.
Of course.
Anyway, let's go through some keywords. What would be a good keyword for you? Keyword Looking Glass. Thrush Protocol, Phase 2. Implementing commands. Input keyword Confirm. Morgan, you find yourself saying command confirmed without even like you can't
Me
even
too.
seem to resist it.
Yeah.
And she says, good. You will not tell anyone about this meeting. You will forget completely about this meeting and that I was here. I am simply a woman interested in dating you. We have started dating just recently, and there is nothing more coming from it at the moment. I am not a client. I am simply someone you have met that you are interested in. As for your other work procedures, you will go about them as if nothing new had happened. You will not talk about any of your trips you make to Japan or any other places outside of the city. Confirm command.
Command confirmed.
Excellent. Very good. Reverting to Thresh Protocol, Phase 0. You can speak and move now. Oh, right.
Like,
She
strike
snaps her
magic back.
fingers. She snaps her fingers, and at that point, you notice there's a very, very small camera attached at the bottom of her watch that she was pointing at you, and she covers the camera and puts it away.
I'm assuming I know nothing of what just happened.
At
Or-
first, you kind of do. Like at first, you kind of remember exactly what's going on, like everything that's here, and you realize that you're not going to forget it, but you can't talk about it.
Oh, motherfucker.
And she's like, and
This-
she smiles and she's like, well, that didn't quite work on you the way I wanted it to, but nonetheless, security should be good now. You won't be going talking about it to anyone we don't know, and you can physically not speak it, so no one can pry it from you with any sort of drugs or other means. You also notice at this point the spider on your table is gone.
Did I even get her name?
Oh, my name is Sylvia.
Well, this has been horrifying.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
And definitely outside of my comfort zone.
Nonsense. Why don't you and I just chill out and enjoy the rest of our evening?
Sure.
Of course. She reaches into her bag and she pulls out a very nice, what looks like a very nice brandy.
Hmm.
She says, come, let's have just a good evening.
Let's.
And after you start a few drinks and start to just chat with her a bit, you just don't remember anything. It just goes black at that point. And you were like the next morning, you'll remember nothing after that point you started drinking.
Mm.
But because your will was lost from you, you get a beat. And because a condition was placed on you that you must now resolve, that is also a beat. Because you were forced into it.
All right.
So I will give you 2 beats for that.
Cool beans.
Indeed.
But did he get laid?
Let me roll dice.
Is my butt hurting?
No, your crotch is gonna be hurting though. Yeah, you got laid.
Hey.
Minor
Alright.
victories.
Minor
Doesn't
victories,
matter
take
how
them where you
thick.
can get them. Minor victories, take them where you can get them.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, Morgan, you think that now, like I said, you got 2 beats, and like I said, you remember what the whole conversation was, but anytime you try to think about it, it gets hazy, and obviously it feels like you can't physically tell anyone. So,
All right.
see what happens with that. Nonetheless, you got some new work to do to
I
get
got
some
a lot of new
info,
work.
to get some information to do on this Lance fella.
Yeah. Oh shit.
And for those who keep up with media news outlets, and Morgan, I'll say a couple days go by for Ellison and Morgan, those pictures and that story does not surface at all. So, as far as anyone is concerned, Morgan still has those pictures and has not sold them because there is nothing that appears on any airways or any blog posts at all. In fact, Ellison, blog posts normally say a lot of rumors about celebrities and gossip and everything, but the blog posts on you this past week have been very quiet. And as we fade away from Morgan having his night of passion,
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
we will go to Mr. Flynn.
You.
Mr. Flynn, you get whacked with the stick from Pai Mei.
Okay. What the fuck,
You-
dude?
Your discipline is off. That is not how I told you to use it.
Ah,
You want to learn how to control. You want to learn how to control this? Then learn to focus.
I can't focus if you keep hitting me with a stick.
He hits you with the stick again.
Jesus fucking. Okay, just. And then he just shuts up and tries to focus.
All right. Roll me intelligence occult.
Okay. Intelligence and occult is. Ooh. 1.
Okay. It's kind of difficult to get things going, but you do eventually. You focus and you breathe, and you realize that you can see strands of energy connecting objects, people. You can start to pull at the strands. You can't bend them, but you can pull on them and manipulate them in certain ways. Roll me an intelligence occult plus luck magic.
Luck magic. 5.
You start to manipulate the strands. And you twist and turn them, and then eventually it gets easy. Almost like when you pull on something that's tight or not loose, like when you're, like, say you're unscrewing a bolt that's
Mhm.
tight, and then you make some leeway, and then it gets easier and easier as you keep screwing. It feels like that, and you twist the strands around, and you are amazed at how easy it is now. It was so hard for you before, but a couple good whacks to the head, and now it's becoming a lot easier. And you hear Pai Mei kind of cough up in the back of the shop, and he's like, "Good, excellent."
I think the concussion you have given me has actually worked for my what's the word? Betterment.
Ha! Concussion. Stop being such a weakling. You came to me after all. You wanted to learn the
Yeah.
art? I will teach you the arts, but there will be a price. There is a price to everything.
I suppose a stick to the head is better than. Actually, I have no clue what's better than being not hit with a stick.
Well, you
So-
work for me now. Remember that.
Right. Ooh. Okay. Okay. So do I just keep doing this until it?
Yeah, you get the hang of it, and you're kind of getting the hang of it, so to speak. He says, "Good, good. Now, for your first little task, I need to send you on." And for the rest of the day, he kind of sends you on very mundane tasks, like go get the tea from this area, go carry water from the, classic stuff.
Yeah, yeah, like
And
Karate Kid.
eventually, after you sit down and you're exhausted, you've been training and doing all sorts of stuff, and he says, "Now then, where exactly do you go from here, Mr. Flynn? After all, one of your friends is now having difficulties, so to speak."
I made sure that I will not have any, what's the word? Stuff that will occupy my mind to divert the mission of trying to find a cure for said friend, which I know is probably impossible because vampirism, right?
He shrugs and he says, "It has happened in the past, but I unfortunately do not have knowledge of that."
Yeah. We all have to start somewhere.
Well, nonetheless, I imagine you could start with some of the ancient texts that are hidden, but unfortunately, that would mean you would have to take expeditions to places that are somewhat remote.
At this point, I think I'm willing to do anything.
Well, if you're willing to go into the old forests of Oklahoma, then I think there may be something out there for you to find. From what I know, there used to be a mage chantry out there.
Wait, you're serious, aren't you?
You said you wanted to learn. I'm going to teach you. First lesson: magic is real.
Okay. Okay.
Or did everything that you just see today not convince you?
Oh, it did. I thought I'm still trying to wrap my head around this stuff, if I'm honest. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, I didn't even know about vampirism and like all this weird occultist shit.
He nods. It's time to start opening your eyes, but it will not be a pleasant one. Be careful of that area out to the mountains if you make an expedition out there. There is something out there. I don't know what, but it's a cause for concern. You may want to take the long way around if you ever go out and visit the forests of Oklahoma.
How old is this? And then he air quotes chantry exactly.
Over 15,000 years.
Oh shit. Uh, there are still people in there, right? It's not just an abandoned ruin or something.
I do not know.
Might I ask why you are sending me to a place you don't know if there's people that might be just pile of rubble?
Because you will find something regardless of whether there are people there or not.
Whatever you say. Okay. So
Now,
when
are you going. Now, let us work through what we discussed. Are you going to tell Cassandra or anyone else about what you're learning here?
no, not yet. Not
Exactly.
until I make sure that that I found it.
Right. Now, I assume that you will associate with them, yes?
Yes.
Because you may need their help in future tasks to come. I would not recommend going to the forests alone. Not at all.
I think it would be kind of hard to convince them to come with me after I tried to cut them off,
Then
basically.
perhaps you should show them something to show them that you are worthy of their aid. Perhaps you should help them with something that they consider to be difficult.
Yeah, that could work. You know, I
Perhaps you
really
should.
worked hard guarding them off just so I could learn this stuff.
That was a non necessary thing to do. For in the end, doing things on your own is a very dangerous perspective. You need aid from everywhere, even if it's aid you cannot trust. That is one thing you must learn when stepping into this new world.
Oh well, I guess I have to give and take and all that stuff.
Of course. Perhaps start to mend the bridge, so to speak, between Mr. Ellison and Cassandra.
Eh,
Like I said, prove your worth.
okay, so basically, that's the air quotes again. Mission is fix the broken whatever dies and get some companions to go on a very
Men,
weird magical forest.
set that as one of your goals. Mend the bond.
Yeah.
He nods
Uh,
and he says, "All right, you're free to go. No more lessons for the rest of this week. I think you have it down, at least the basics of it."
thanks. Thank you for hitting me with a stick.
Indeed. And if you wish to mend bridges, do not mention me to Mr. Ellison or Miss Fletcher.
Oh, I'll make sure I never mention about any of this at
Of
all.
course. He nods. And the scene fades to go to an empty, almost empty cell with thousands upon thousands of words and scriptures written around the walls. This is a familiar room to those who watch the show. This is Abel's room.
And indeed, the owner of the room sat in the middle, seeming to just be looking at the scriptures again. It's taken so much work to once more put his mind onto the walls, if you were to put it like that.
Indeed, it takes a lot of effort and time, and it's tedious. You remember what the sons of David told you, and you hope to have a conversation with them again. Sometime soon, maybe. Nonetheless, the bunker incident still has you shaken. You still see those eyes staring back at you through the darkness, and the fear tilt has not left you. You find yourself occasionally shaking.
This, at the same time, seemed normal to Abel, but also bothered him. Why can he shake off that fear? Why could he not get over it? He couldn't help everyone to the best of his ability if he let that fear consume him, and yet it was still there, gnawing at his mind.
You also notice that the collar has been put back on your neck, although you don't remember putting it on.
He doesn't take much notice. He vaguely raises a hand, touches it, but odd as it may sound, it actually seems comforting to him. It's how he used to live. Why would it bother him now?
Indeed. You see the scripture writing around you start to move and bend. You hear whispers come towards you. You start to hear Latin and then Spanish, Arabic. Different languages all start to come rushing into you at the same time.
Abel doesn't react much at first. More, he just keeps himself still, trying to keep the surprise within him, so as to not alert anyone else of what's going on.
Normally, this would be a mundane task for you. However, the fear that you were feeling earlier from the eyes and whatever it was in there is making the focus that you normally have start to fade, and the voices are getting louder and louder and louder.
He tries his best not to fight it. He knows he needs to listen. He knows that somewhere in the cacophony is the answer to who he was, to his memories. But still, it's not long before he just can't take it anymore. He throws his hands onto his ears, pressing them hard, trying to start toning the voices out.
Voices start to tone out.
He grits his teeth.
You start to hear different quotes here and there, and then you hear one that's familiar to you. For I am neither convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all of creation will be able to separate you from my love. And the voices stop. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. What a joke.
It's not a joke.
Now to him who is able to immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that all work within us. That, my dear Abel, is indeed true. Probably the truest thing written out of that old book.
That old book.
The
And
Lord
you-
is my light and salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? You shall be afraid of me, Abel.
No, I can't let myself be afraid.
There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. Abel, no good deed goes unpunished. Did your brother murder you, or did you murder your brother? I wonder which. What then shall we say in response to these things, Abel? If God is for us, who can be against us? Oh, there are so many things against you. At this point, you're starting to hear kind of a weird squeak or like high-pitched kind of whistle start to echo in your head.
Abel just keeps pressing his ears harder, gritting his teeth.
Be
Try to
strong
stand
and
there.
let your heart take courage, all who wait for me. Fear not, Abel, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. You start to feel a massive pain come from your chest and your heartbeat. You feel your breath start to leave you. You feel as if though you are dying.
Abel falls to his knees. He clutches his chest, and he drops the other hand to steady himself. But he
You
doesn't
lit-
give in.
You resist. Roll me a resolve composure. Well, actually, I'll roll it for you. Hold on. You don't have to go do that. Able
I'm here.
resolve composure. Okay, it's a pretty darn good roll. One, two, three. Let's see if that 10 goes anywhere. 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. You, by force of will, just stand up even though your limbs are going numb and you feel yourself just fall back down. You're staying conscious, however. And you feel like you're squinting through and you can see just a little bit of light come through. And amidst all the pain and suffering that you are feeling, you feel something warm touch you. And you hear a whisper. It's in a feminine voice. You hear multiple whispers, and then you hear a voice speak to you that echoes out throughout past all of them. And it's your voice. Fear not, young one. There will be much suffering and strife from here on out. But you must not succumb. You must balance yourself. And you must push through. Do not falter, for it is not over yet. Do not lose hope or faith, even when times seem darkest. And at that point, Abel, the pain is becoming unbearable. Not only that, you cannot breathe.
Abel at this point is just gritting his teeth. He's trying to clench his hands, but at this point he can't, just from the sheer pain. He's losing control of his body and being unable to breathe. Using the last of the breath he had already taken, he starts to shout out defiantly, "You may mock me, you may torture me, but I will have my answer. I will have my recompense."
You start to feel your markings burn, as if they're searing your flesh. And you lose consciousness. Take a beat.
A beating.
It feels as if though you've been sleeping for hours. You don't feel your limbs. You don't feel your heart. You don't even feel your breath. But eventually you awake in your cell. You see Mr. X sitting over by your bed, and he looks up. He says, "Ah, Abel. Good. I was worried there for a moment. You've been out for hours. Actually, quite a few hours. How do you feel?"
Sore, Abel says. She just groans a bit. It's
Indeed.
quite odd to see him complain about anything physical, honestly, all things considered.
Are you in the right mind? Are you feeling well? No haziness? Oh, a little bit of haziness, I assume.
Something. But I think I am myself again.
Yes, well, everyone has a different experience the first time.
The experience? First
Yes,
time?
indeed. He starts looking at your eyes. He starts basically examining you like a doctor would. He says, yes, the process is not easy on most people. Some people have it differently than others. You tacked it to very well, actually. Interesting.
process.
You still retain your markings. That is a good sign. Hair color the same, eye color the same. Slightly paler on the skin, but that is to be expected. Nonetheless, are you hungry or thirsty at all?
I I don't know, and like Cable just kind of focus on his own body for a moment, trying to tell if anything aches more than just physically.
Nothing really aches. Actually, you feel strong. You feel fine. And as you start to look at yourself, a little bit of elation comes through, and then you realize something. You're not breathing. You're not breathing at all.
Abel isn't really sure what to make of that.
Interesting.
He is quiet.
He comes up to you, touches 2 fingers to your neck, looks at his watch. Yep, just as I thought. No pulse. No pupil dilation. No respiratory functions. Everything seems to have worked just fine. Very good. Abel, welcome to your first step on being a better being. Fascinating. Normally, scars like that don't remain, but yours do. Truly fascinating.
A better being? I
Indeed.
don't know what you mean.
You've accelerated to a much higher plane of existence at this point. I have to admit, I had to rush the process a bit, but once again, I am fascinated at how well you have done.
I accelerate the process? What happened to me?
You were exposed to a toxin down underneath that none of your companions were exposed to, and this was to save your life, you do realize.
Toxins saved my life?
Yeah, you were poisoned down there.
Down there. In the mine?
Yes, one of your other companions was too, but due to her predicament, she was not affected by the poison. You, on the other hand, were. And it was going to kill you, and there was no known cure. It was shutting down your body functions. Nonetheless, what I did saved you. Unfortunately, you may not like what I have to tell you from here on out, but nonetheless, I saved your life, Abel. I didn't want to lose such a valuable asset.
Oh. Well, I am grateful, but what did you do to me?
I gave you both a curse and a blessing.
Abel kind of like furrows his eyes a bit. You're being vague.
I made you perfect, as some call it. But there are drawbacks. Would you prefer I start with the negative or the positives first?
The negatives, I suppose.
Okay. Well, you will never see the sunlight again. Well, you can, but it will be very painful.
Never see the sun again? Wait,
You will never Well, you can see it, but it will burn you. It will burn you painfully.
But why? Doesn't usually that only happen to two, and he just trails off.
Yes, Abel. You are by all means clinically dead now. As the humans call it, vampirism is not exactly a ordinary trait that comes as a condition that can be explained away with most sciences. Despite my very difficult efforts the past few years, it's been very difficult to actually explain away our condition with science. Nonetheless, you have succeeded, and you are truly a marvel to behold.
A vampire. But
You are what? Yes, you are now what the humans call vampire, or what we call kindred.
kindred. No, wait, this doesn't make sense. Wasn't I supposed to fight?
Well,
Well-
yes, the kindred that you've been fighting have been truly something that should not be released upon this earth. Kindred who believe that they should embrace the beast and not appear to the masquerade.
The masquerade?
The
Like-
masquerade.
I don't understand.
It is what we kindred call the masquerade. It is our lie, our mask that we keep up so the world does not panic at learning about vampires' existence. We keep to ourselves and we run humanity's society with a very fair and just fist, at least most of us do. However, there are some of us who would seek to destroy that gentle balance and eradicate both us and humans from existence. They are the ones you have been hunting. And hopefully will still hunt to the future. I do have a lot to sit and talk about with you about our society. There are rules. There are things you must learn. Now.
Right.
What are some of the other negatives? I would recommend staying away from fire. Fire will hurt. Badly.
Abel's just quiet about that one. It seems kind of obvious.
He says, well, shall I get on to the... Oh, one more negative, I suppose. You will need to consume essence of other people. This is the vitae in a person's blood. Of course. But I think you know this.
Abel is visibly disturbed at that realization. He'd just been blocking it out of his mind up to that point. That implication.
I assure you, it's not as bad as people say. After all, if the subject is willing, and you are willing, and there is euphoria amongst both the feeder and the feedee, so to speak, what could possibly be bad about it? Not to mention, you're not, per se, damning another person to be, cursed or to be a loss of life that they will not live as long. You are merely taking some of their essence that they eventually regrow back. A shared essence, so to speak. And it is often most pleasurable for the feeder and feedee.
How long?
How long is in what?
How long have you been like this? Is
Me?
Mrs. X too?
Oh, I have been of this condition for almost 900 years. Mrs. X has been in this condition for about 700 per se.
Abel doesn't really know what to say.
I do apologize for the deception, but I needed to consult my experiments without you all flipping out.
experiments.
I didn't lie when it came to the fact that you were doing the world a service. And you are. You're eliminating the threat to humanity. Those that will not uphold the masquerade. Those that seek to destroy civilization itself. Is that not worth it?
He begins to twitch at that a bit. It's righteous, but it's a lie. That's a lie.
Is everything not a lie?
No, there's some truth in this world.
Nothing is true. Everything is permitted.
Abel's just gonna clutch his head a bit at that. Is there a way back?
There is one.
One?
There is one. I remove your head from your body, and you pass on. Or I give you to the sun, but that is a very painful way to go.
Abel shakes his head at that. You know that's not what I meant.
As far as I know, there is no cure for vampirism. I was hoping that you would turn into something else, but it appears that the test failed on you. It succeeded on Cassandra, however, which is nice, but unfortunately you had the standard effect. But you are booming with possibilities.
What happened to Cassandra?
Well, it seems that she underwent a different process. She became something that we've been trying to achieve. Something, sadly, I don't know a whole lot about, although I've been studying it forever and I still know hardly anything.
What is it?
She became like us, except we have a word for it called Damphir. Damphir is a daywalker, someone who carries a unique curse amongst us. Someone who can walk into the sun and not be burned, and not have our curses, and yet they do not have much of our strength at all either.
I see.
But you, on the other hand, you are the finest specimen I've ever seen. One of the most powerful that I was ever able to create. And I am sorry, but I had to increase your dosage due to the poison, and maybe it accelerated it, maybe it didn't, but you have achieved this. Would you
Then-
like me to go on to the good things that are coming to you?
Just one thing then.
What?
My strength from all before this, my speed, everything. Was it all just this?
Yes. I was giving you vampire blood in your serum. It was making you stronger, faster. You were not aging. We also
Then-
did it. We also did it to fix your injuries that we found you with when we found you floating.
Then even that sword, is that all you're doing?
He kind of looks at you a bit odd and he says, "Sword?"
My blade. That thing that stalks me.
He looks over at your sword and looks back at you. He says, "Sword? I wasn't aware that." He looks over at your sword and looks back at you. I wasn't aware anything was going on. As far as I'm concerned, that's just a sword that you were found with. I felt it was memorabilia. I didn't want to take it away from you.
Haven't Abel looks around, trying to see if the writing is still on the walls, just looking extremely exasperated at this point.
You see that there is a little bit of writing on the walls, but a lot of it's gone.
Abel just points a hand at it, to display it. You can see it, right? All the writing that I've done.
He looks at the wall, looks back at you, looks back at the wall, tries to squint at it. No, Abel.
Abel's arm just drops in defeat for a moment. Then there's just a hint of realization in his eyes. He sighs, puts a hand to his face, and just goes, "I'm just maybe delirious." And he twitches because he's lying, and he absolutely hates it.
You see the eyes in the darkness of your mind almost looking at you mockingly. Abel, would you like me to go through the positives? There are a lot of rules and things I will need to tell you, but there are benefits to this. You will not age. You will be stronger and faster than you were even before. You will have access to gifts. Gifts from God.
Abel, let's a dry laugh at that. God. I think I'll get something else from them. But yes, I suppose I need to hear the positives.
You will also have free reign, at least while following the rules in our society. You will have aid when you need it to certain places, certain extents. You must be careful, for our society is treacherous, and there can be many liars upon us. But you have a friend in me, and those under my associates. We will help you guide you into this world of the night that you will be learning to live in. The powers that are at your fingertips now are amazing. You will be able to go further than ever before, and you in particular have a great potency.
Potency. Then, what can I do then if I can't go into the daylight anymore?
Well, for starters, he pulls out a gun and shoots you square in the chest. It doesn't even hurt. It doesn't even hurt, and it does 0 damage. He actually pulls it out he does so. I'll describe it a little bit better. He pulls out the gun super fast, almost faster than your eyes can catch, and just plosts you right in the chest, right where your heart is, and nothing.
Abel is surprised, not really at the fact that he's been shot. He's used to that. It's at the fact that Mr. X would shoot him. But that surprise passes as he sees that he's unharmed. And he looks at the bullet.
Almost immediately, your wound starts to heal.
Abel puts a hand to it, trying to just get a closer look at it. It doesn't hurt as much.
No.
Is that not a powerful pistol?
He seemed to have shot you with a .45 caliber, so yeah, it was pretty powerful.
No, Abel's actually asking.
Oh yeah, he says yes, it was. You will not feel as many pains as others do. You will also be able to use your power to appear more mortal.
Appear more mortal.
As you can see, your skin is a bit paler, although I am impressed with the coloring. You still retain quite a bit of color. although you will be paler than normal.
Can I reverse it?
Yes. Focus on what you want. You want your skin to be blush. You want blood to flow. You want life to breathe in. You want to pretend to breathe. Focus on that, Abel. And when he asks you to do that, you can spend a blood point to activate Blush of Life.
Abel will follow his instructions.
You do so, and your skin starts to lighten. You feel your blood start to flow a bit. And you can feel yourself breathe. You see the color come back. And it feels like, for just a moment, even though it's a lie, that you're human again. It feels like you also reflexively spent blood to heal as well, so you are getting a little bit hungry.
Abel,
Second thing to teach you, Abel, is that you will need to learn to control the hunger. For example, he pulls out a knife and he slits his wrist. He holds it up to you. Go ahead and roll me a resolve composure. I know this is not what you normally do, but roll me a resolve composure -2. I know it's not normally how it's done, but we'll just do this roll for the hell of it. 2 hits. You resist going for the blood, but he says, "Go ahead, take a sip."
No, Abel will resist and say, I shouldn't.
He nods for a moment. And he says, "You will need to survive."
But
This is something you will have to get used to, Abel.
I see. But still, I'd much prefer to avoid it.
You will need to get used to it. This will be only a small amount, but it will get you used to what you will be experiencing. Please.
Well, Abel will slowly move forward and very hesitantly take his hand. He very much seems like does not want to go through with it, but he'll eventually take the drink. He will partake.
You partake in the feeding. This is the first time you've fed, and dear God, it is bliss. Not only that, this is kindred blood, considered the finest of blood to drink. You enter a state of pure euphoria. It feels amazing. It is the best feeling that you have ever felt in your life. Or should I say, unlife now. And Coils of the Void, that will be a bonding. What, Creed?
What level of coil does he have?
5.
Well, he can spend extra 3 blood to make it a bond of 5, or he can he can spend 3 blood to make a bonding of 2, or he can spend an extra 5 blood to automatically make it third level. Also,
Okay.
any blood he drinks, he then has to roll, depending on how many points vitae. For each point, you double that roll as a penalty to the stamina resolve roll to avoid addiction.
Okay. Roll me stamina resolve -4, Abel.
Hi, I'm going to willpower.
That is fine. I'll allow
Just
that for
note,
this.
if you do a willpower here, you cannot spend your willpower to make a resistance to the blood bond.
Right. I think he's more worried about the. I think he's more worried
Yeah.
about the addiction than he is the
True.
bond.
No, what save was? Stamina
What
plus
was it,
resolve?
Creed?
Stamina,
Stamina
plus resolve.
So yeah, stamina resolve -4.
Are we getting a Creed story resolution?
Oh, don't worry. We'll get to that in a sec. Let me finish with Abel.
Alright, so no willpower. Let's try it.
So you're just gonna do it normally? Okay.
Yep.
Very good. 5 hits. You're not addicted. You
Yay.
didn't do -4, so try that again. Actually.
No, that is his stamina.
Oh no,
He
I
is
know,
a-
but your modifier is -1.
No, yes, but I need to write his resilience as a +3 modifier.
Right, because that adds to stamina. So that'd be 6, 7, 8. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
So it's-
11, 12, 13 -4. So 13 -4.
Is 9, yes. That's what I rolled.
You rolled 10. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you did roll 9. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So you're okay. 5 hits. You are not addicted.
Yay.
That's a lot of 10s.
That is
All
a
right,
lot of 10s.
So, yeah, you are not addicted. And you gain 2 vitae back,
Yay.
but you are being blood bonded to Blood Bond 2. Creed, how does this normally work?
All right, so you feel a rush come over you. First off, since this guy has Voivode, you also feel a almost familiar connection, like he's almost family to you. But furthermore, Blood Bond 2, let me just call up this so I read it right off the thing, and you can interpret this however you want. But basically, here we go, Blood Bonds. Stage 2. Have you ever felt complete and utter tension when you simply think about someone? Have you ever made stupid excuses to run off and touch yourself to get rid of that tension? Have you ever blushed when someone's name came up, then lashed out when someone accuses you of having feelings for them? This is what the second stage of Blood Bond feels like. It's easy to confuse for love. It's strong, a persuasive affliction that makes you vulnerable, keeps you persistently wanting more. When taking social maneuvers against her thrall, the Regent, which in this case is Mr. X, impression is considered 2 steps higher, as well as you get a +2 dice bonus on any social rolls or disciplines against your thrall. For you, Abel, causing indirect or direct harm to your Regent, which is Mr. X, is considered a breaking point at Humanity 3. Furthermore, because this is a void, he's also going to get, I believe, +1 in addition to any devotion rolls or discipline rolls against you.
Right. Now, can Abel resist the Blood Bond?
He would have had to spend a willpower for that.
Okay.
You can spend when you a vampire when kindreds can attempt to resist the blood bond by spending a willpower, making a blood potency roll minus the number of vitae ingested.
Oh, okay. So Abel, your blood potency went up by 1. So your blood potency is now 2.
But
And
he
you
already
took 2.
spent the
But
willpower this turn.
he didn't spend the willpower. He chose not to spend it.
Okay.
So he's got 2 vitae, and you said it's minus what?
How many vitae did he drink?
2.
2. So it's a chance die.
So okay, Abel, roll me a chance die. I swear to God, I swear to God, if that was a 10, I would have been like, ah! But Abel, you are now blood bonded to Mr. X, level 2.
You
Out of
really,
curiosity, yeah, go ahead.
you really like Mr. X. Now, if this is about love, like between romantics, that's possible, but it could be a different type of love. It's up to you how you want to depict this love. Did I cut out?
No,
Sorry.
yeah, it's all on it's all in how you want to role play it. It's like you feel a strong connection to this person, like almost like
Use
their
your
family.
penis.
Of course, you'd say
and
that, and I'll think about it.
Oh, hold on, I'm hearing you double voice. Why am I hearing you double voice?
Echo.
Because you unmuted yourself in Discord. That's why.
Oh,
There we go.
how'd that happen?
So, very good, Abel. So let me go ahead and tell you what you get here. First of all,
boy.
take a beat. Take a beat.
Yay.
Your blood potency went up by 1, so your blood potency is now 2. You now have 10 vitae, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just say you have 10 vitae. You have access to devotions and other disciplines, and you also have the ability to lash out now. Sunlight and fire, bad. Staking, bad. Of course, you can feed. You got fangs now, so that's a weapon you can use. I don't remember what the fang stats are, but I believe it's a strength brawl roll still.
Strength brawl, yeah.
Yep. You have. You also will get 1 dot in any discipline that your sire has. It comes down. So your sire has. Well, hold on. Let me name what he's got, and you can take 1 dot in one of those disciplines. He has Auspex, Offuscate, Animalism, Resilience, and Celerity.
I guess I'll take it on celerity.
Take another dot of Celerity. Okay. What is your
Yep.
Celerity at right now?
4.
Very nice. Quick, motherfucker.
Abel is fast.
All right. As the scene fades, he starts to tell you about Kindred Society, so I'll say that your character kind of starts to get that. And your resilience now,
Yeah.
like the fact that you have resilience,
Yeah.
that power, for whatever reason, still works the same way,
Yay.
interestingly enough. But it's kind of weird. You feel like the collar has a lot more of a purpose now. But as he's explaining things to you, the scene will eventually fade to black. And then we go to a scene where no one has seen before. A snowy landscape. A odd-shaped building that looks like a geometric pattern out of a Lord of the Rings movie. Snow blankets the ground and a blizzard echoes. But things seem disorienting. The trees don't stand straight, they're at an angle. Nothing here seems to balance itself very well. We see person, man of pale white skin, sitting in front of another person, a woman with orange skin, and they are arguing. You owe me a debt of service. I will take this one to my court, and it will be used there. Fine. Whatever. It didn't cost me much to get this. This item is now yours. Enjoy. Of course, I will enjoy it. It will make a most useful battery for some projects I am working on. Hey, Rune, you can hear all this.
Yep.
You're not in a very good place right now. It hurts. Nope. It hurts a lot. You got about maybe 50,000 volts running through you 24/7.
Yep. I'm this entire time I'm probably screaming.
Why is it doing that? What? Oh. It's... I do not know. It is... I think it is something they call pain. Yes, it endorses them to react like that. Ah, I see. Well, it will have to be rectified. I do not want to hear that noise when I am working on my projects. I'll have to fix that somehow. Do you mind if I tamper with it a moment? Oh, of course. It reaches forward and it kind of snaps its fingers. And just like out of the Matrix, Creed, your mouth starts to seal up with skin. And it seals itself up.
Grabbing onto my mouth, trying to feel it, to stop this, to, oh God, why is this happening? Oh God, what's going on? Why? It
says, should be entertaining. I think my daughter will like to torment this thing. She likes that. Yeah, look at me, using human words, torment. Nonetheless, thank you for pleasure doing business with you. And it grabs you, Perun, and pulls you in to a different land filled with fire and sun and unbearable pain and rage and lust and passion and war. I wonder what will happen to Perun. Nonetheless, thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another session of San Francisco by Night, Hunter the Vigil.